Dearly beloved, it is the 13th of January today, Sunday, I believe, Saturday or Sunday, it's a weekend. My name is George Camberoglu. We're absolutely fine here. It's Dorset Ward Hospital, Enfield Chase Farm. I've not been able to shave yet. The razor's coming tomorrow, so I'm going to be a bit more tidy. My teeth are very ill. I've not been able to brush them yet. I've not had the time. Well, I've had the time, but I've been a bit lazy. What are we dealing with today? Well, today I asked for some paper so I could make my appeal, a formal appeal, finally to a mental health tribunal. So finally my case can be put before a judge. Now what we will be putting before a judge is whether I was correctly detained, if the liable for detention was done correctly, if my human rights were violated, and if the law was followed at every step of the way. Now I will argue that from data protection, from the moment of my arrest, my wrongful arrest, from the moment of my detention under the Mental Health Act, which was wrong, a false detention under the Mental Health Act, without the correct evidence, to the movement to the first safe place, to the first hospital where I was assaulted, from the first hospital where I was forced medication, to the second hospital where I was forced medication, to the second hospital where I was incorrectly assessed, from the first safe haven which I was incorrectly assessed by that, and the first place is Holborn. I disagree with the assessment. No notes were taken. Prescriptions was given. I was not informed of the practice, breaking the code of practice. I was then not listened to properly, and again not informed of the procedure or the assessment by the second set of doctors, again violating the code of practice. And at none of these points, at any of these points, was I assumed to have capacity to act in my own self-interest. Now, in the code of practice, that's a fundamental right. That's fundamentally underpinning the code of practice, that all service users or patients must be assumed to have capacity for their own actions, unless clearly shown otherwise. Now, I never attacked anyone, I never shouted, I never did anything to show that I don't have capacity for myself. I quite clearly have capacity of my finances, I quite clearly have capacity of my bodily functions, I quite clearly have capacity to have my own thoughts, and to restrain my thoughts when being told to be quiet. So that fundamental thing, the assumption of capacity, has been foregone, and the capacity has now been passed on the authority to the staff incompletely wrongly. We get to the third place. I'm assaulted. I'm threatened with violence, breaking of my phone. I'm threatened verbally. Someone tries to punch me. Someone tries to rear chokehold me. Here you can see the slight bruising on my eye where I got a bit of a graze from a passing blow. I did retaliate. It was only in self-defense. The staff said it was completely within my rights to retaliate. It wasn't a strong punch. I'm not here to assess who won the fight or whatever. That's completely pointless to me. And then I got to a point where I wasn't allowed a piece of paper so I could write down these notes so I could lodge an appeal. I wasn't allowed to speak to a lawyer. I wasn't allowed to speak to a mental health advocate. I wasn't allowed to see my medical records. All of these are legal rights enshrined in law. So that's where we are on the 13th of January. I will be pursuing my claim in the court. I will be pursuing my claim for discharge. And of course, I will be suing the entirety of the NHS and every single staff member who acted improperly, because I believe this is criminal gross negligence. We're getting to the point of criminal negligence here. It's starting to affect my well-being. I've not been allowed to be outside for 8 days to see fresh air. My freedom and rights to liberty, the most important point, rights to liberty, have been denied for no good reason. Thank you very much.